because I wanted Nathan's hot dogs. We take up a collection.
But everything's wonderful. It's peachy keen. We're having a party on the White House lawn. Why
You,
can't
you weren't at the pension meeting yesterday.
Yeah.
It's all down.
It's all done. No, my favorite thing
Listen.
is to see
The financial markets are in shambles.
my favorite thing is
It's a mess.
they have the president speaking on the White House lawn and we show the Dow Jones ticking down.
Did,
down,
really?
down.
The media, see? That's the news, right? Okay. Oh, you're you were watching Fox News? Oh. Now we. Okay.
The broadcast
Is that
is now
different
starting.
person?
All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay. Make sure we weren't hijacked. Let me stop. Okay, good evening. We're going to call the first meeting to order for all of those of you who are here tonight. Tonight we will first have our second and final budget hearing for the budget for the 2023-24 year, right? 22-23 year. I'm dealing with different years all over the place. And when the completion of that hearing, we will then reconvene and have our regular council meeting with our regular agenda items. So with that, it is Thursday, September 15th already, 6:30 p.m. I don't know where the year is gone, but it's gone. Would everyone please stand and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Diane, please let the record show that all members of council are present.
Yes, Mayor, I will.
And with that, we'll open this public hearing with an announcement that the proposed operating millage rate necessary to fund the budget is 12.24% higher or above the rollback millage rate of 1.7106 mils. With that, I will announce the proposed operating millage rate for this coming fiscal year is 1.9200 for the general operating fund. With that, I'll ask our finance director to provide us a summary of our budget for this year.
Mr. Mayor, there's been no changes to the budget document since the first public hearing.
So that means everybody's okay with that? Okay. Thank you, Stan. Well, with that, I will open up for comments from the public. Do we have any prior comments for the budget?
No, Mayor.
No? Ray, do we have anyone out there with their hands raised who wants to comment about the budget? Okay. I have not received any comment cards. You'd like to comment about the budget? Please come and join us.
Well, we've had 12 years at this rate, and the 26 years total, it hasn't gone up. Yeah, 26 years.
In 26 years. I mean, that's something to pat our backs on. Thank you.
Well, thank you for thanking us. We appreciate it. Okay. Are there any, I still have no comment cards. Anyone else here would like to comment about our budget, proposed budget? Seeing none, then I will close public comments for this hearing. And with that, I'd like to have the adoption of the final millage rate of 1.9200 for the general fund. Read by title?
Yes, sir. I do need to read it by title. As you said, it's resolution number 22-23. It's a resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Royal Palm Beach adopting the final millage rate for the Village of Royal Palm Beach for the fiscal year commencing on October 1st, 2022 and ending on September 30th, 2023, providing an effective date and for other purposes.
Okay, is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? If no opposed, Diane, please let the record show that adoption of the final millage rate of 1.9200 was approved 5-0. Next, I'd like to have the adoption of our final budget for the fiscal year 22-23/23. With that, I'll ask Mitty to read by title.
Thank you, sir. This is resolution number 22-24. It's a resolution of the Village Council of the Village of Royal Palm Beach, Florida, adopting its final budget for fiscal year 2022-2023, providing that the budget hereby adopted may be adjusted or modified by subsequent resolution of the Village Council under certain circumstances, providing a conflicts clause, a severability clause, providing an effective date, and for other purposes.
Okay, there are no questions or any, look for a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that the final budget for fiscal year 2022 to 2023 was approved 5-0. Thank you. With that, we have no further items on our budget hearing agenda, so I'm going to close this hearing, and we are adjourned from this hearing. Okay, I will now open the regular village council meeting. Once again, it's still September 15th, and it's about 20 minutes to 7. We've already had our Pledge of Allegiance, so we won't do that again. Diane, please let the record show that all the members of council are still present. No, I think it's a wonderful thing. With that, we're going to start reports. I got a couple of things I'd like to share in terms of reports. Today, this morning, was the Transportation Planning Agency monthly meeting. And I guess the major item of action we took today was an updated Transportation Improvement Plan, better known as the TIP, which we had a presentation and some modifications. A couple of points, though, was that State Road 7 extension. There are two projects were noted for State Road 7. One was the extension up to North Lake, and the other was the widening of the portion of State Road 7 that goes from Okeechobee up to 60th Street. Both of those are targeted and funded for fiscal year 23, next year, 2023. And other items in the TIP as well, but those items, I think, have a direct impact on our area here in our community. I thought it was interesting. Whenever we have any activity at the TPO regarding State Road 7, West Palm Beach, decides that they will not support it, and they vote no. But today we had a new city jump in on this, and that was Lake Worth. They voted no. Don't know why. I was told on the side that it had to do with State Road 7, but so just want to share that information. Hopefully I can find out what's concerning Lake Worth about that particular project. All right. With that, something I'd like to bring up to the attention of council, and what I'm looking for this evening is to see if we have a consensus. And if we have a consensus, we can give guidance to our manager and staff on moving on that. All of you are familiar with that place they call Sunset Isles? It's over there where the 7-Eleven is. It is, in fact, a very real conclave within the village. And over the years, a couple of things have happened. I found out it started out as a rental, and at some point in time it converted to a condo. But the legislator had changed the ground rules around enclaves that are within a city. And I think the acreage is up to 110 acres, right? That it can be annexed into the city that is an enclave in. So my understanding, and Ray can clarify this, is that the process would require the village to petition to the county to have an interlocal agreement entered into to make that happen. I don't know if there's more to it that you want to add to that, what more would be involved?
There's what the statute requires, but once we get it, we'll make contact with the county, and we'll provide whatever documentation is necessary to support the annexation. And it'll be, obviously, it will come to you.
Ultimately,
Adoption, we'll have to give it
to formally adopt, yeah.
annex it, we'll have to give plan, zoning.
Is it an accurate statement to say that one of the advantages to that community there to be annexed into the village, which they are in the village, it really would cost them less than services that they're paying now if they were part of the village. Is that an accurate assessment, or?
I don't know. I don't know because I don't know if they're paying fees that they wouldn't be paying if they came into the village. I know they got fire rescue, so that will not change at all.
Well, if they're on the MSTU program, I don't know if they are now. They may not be on the MSTU. I don't know, but yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it would be less. What would be different is any building and zoning or planning work that they needed would be done by us instead of the county.
Well, I, th-
That process.
I think that's a good thing, but that's
Well,
just
that's
me.
why a lot of people do annexes.
Right.
Because
Well, it gives you
it's
a true local government.
correct.
Yeah.
Timings are
Right.
a lot
Fast.
Yeah.
but as far as they would be paying our assessed value, the 1.92,
And
I think it's more, it's confusing whether they are or they're not. I know we have a sheriff's contract and they're not receiving, those sheriff's services that are right here, right now, which does cause a problem for them because another district has to respond or we respond inadvertently, which we have done in years past. So it's confusing. So
I think the
I
law
don't think
enforcement- yeah.
delay of public services and emergency services is necessarily a good thing.
I don't think it's a good thing, and something happened a few weeks ago where our district could not even look at it because they're not part of our village, and we need to do what I think is the best thing for the citizens who really live within the confines of our village. So with that, I open it up for conversation and discussion because, as I said, I'd like to see if we have a consensus in the council that this is something we should move forward on. So, who wants to speak?
I'll just ask real quick. So is it similar to where if we were to purchase an area, do they all need to agree to, yes, we want to annex, or is it because it's just one person we're dealing with, they make the decision for the whole complex?
No, they do not. There's three types of annexations. There's involuntary, where would go to a vote of the people in the city and then the people in the area outside the city, and it would have to be a majority of both. There's voluntary annexation, where all the owners of a property are voluntarily agreeing to annex and sign the proper paper to annex. This way is by agreement, by interlocal agreement. It's identifying a piece of property that's completely surrounded by the village on all four sides, and the state legislature said in those particular circumstances, if the county and the city annex them agree, then they're annexed by interlocal agreement.
So the residents do not have a say because we're in that
They
situation.
do not have a say. They do not have a say. So it would be by agreement. Most of them probably think they're in the village limits
probably-
anyway.
Which is
A lot of them
fine.
probably come
Yeah.
to Commons Park.
Yeah.
All the activities they
use
participate
the
in
village.
at our Parks and Recreation will be at
Right,
the
guys.
lower rates, the
Right.
25% lower rates, so they do get that savings. And many of them who come to us and sign up say, wait a minute, I am in the city. They say, no, you're not.
No,
You
you're
got to pay
not.
this higher rate. And
Right.
so it gets rid of the confusion and for everybody. It gets rid of the
yeah.
confusion for everybody.
I understand that. I just don't like the idea of it happening to the party that's concerned and they don't have any say in it. So that's my only concern with it. Otherwise, it does make sense overall as far as the fees for their end, registering for things for us and stuff like that. That's my only concern is.
But we are their closest representing local government that does provide service to them, and they are receiving them.
And do you know how many units there are in there?
No, I don't know exactly. My guess, being that it's about 18 acres, it's probably around 300.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
And they're
about the number.
all apartments, not
No, they're all condos.
They're all condos.
They're all
Okay.
condos. They're
They're
individually
condos
owned
now.
condos.
Right. So buyer owner. That's my concern is just
They
because
are.
they are owners is that end of it. Thanks.
I think it, makes sense to look into it and go forward. And as far as having a say, I mean, they have an elected representative. They have county commissioners, and they're going to have to go to their local officials. Like people in the village come to us as local officials, and they have their say through us. So it's the same, except for it's the county commission. If we decide that this is going to be good, because they could come to us too. They can, come and tell
We'll
us
listen
what,
to 'em. We'll
what
listen to
their
'em. Sure.
positions are, but they don't have a voting. I mean, it seems like it's kind of like they made an involuntary,
Well-
without the voting, this third option kind of seems to me to be.
But it's really a
But-
function of what how the legislature.
Yeah, the legislature said that the county and
They
the
may- yeah.
municipality can
So
resolve this. So I think it's at least a good idea to look into.
And then, have we ever spoken to their HOA board then?
I haven't. Have you?
No, we have not.
That's what I'm saying. Is at
No,
least
we have
Yeah,
not.
but
Yeah.
let- if we go this process, we'll be open to speaking to whoever, and I think though we'll be able to make a compelling case that it's for the greater good for the people who live there. Remember, these folks do use the services within the village now, as if they live here. And some don't even know that they're not really in the village, as Ray was mentioning. So
So you're just
Go
looking
ahead.
for a consensus on
I'm looking for a consensus so we can give
Going forward
guidance
with-
to move forward with a process.
examining it and understanding it better and getting some sense of where.
Well, certainly starting a dialogue with the county to make sure
And
they
we'll move
you know,
forward with getting an interlocal agreement
yeah, that's the first
approved
step,
by
get to
this
the
council and
absolute
approved by the county commission.
I agree
So-
with going forward with this first step.
All right, so we have a consensus at least on that?
Yeah, I just and when-
Remember, ultimately, we will vote.
Right.
Right.
And with that, though, when you come back, is there an increase of fees for police, fire, other issues as well? Because now that they are coming. in?
No,
Okay.
the only increase will be the approximately $200 a year taxes to us would be about what it is per unit.
And then our current facilities can handle that now because we would have to go in there.
That is correct.
Okay, so they can do that thing.
That is correct, and that's part of some of the documentation we have to provide.
One more question. Is there any cost savings to them with reduced fees that the county pays that they won't
There
have
may
to pay
be,
now?
that's what he was saying.
But and the reduced fees
You
are,
have to look
are
at what they're
participating
paying.
in any of our programs.
Okay? All right. So, you need further?
Nope.
Okay.
We're gonna move
Good.
forward with it.
What
Thank
we
you
can
very
do?
much.
Thank you. One final thing I want to bring up is I got a request earlier this week. Apparently, well, Commissioner Bernard for the County Commission and Mayor Keith James want to put together a task force of several elected officials across I don't know, I guess it's countywide. I was asked would I be willing to serve in that task force. The task force is designed to come up with innovative solutions for the housing issue that we're facing. And I indicated I would be willing. I think that's an important initiative. I would be willing, but I wanted to make sure I shared that with the council because I'm representing us. I'm not representing just me. I'm representing the village being part of that. So anyone, what I told you is all I know at this point.
No, I
so.
was going to say, but I was going to ask a real quick question. No, I thank you very much for representing. Is when you say housing, is it the shortage? Is it the cost factor? Is
Cost
it
factor.
the
Affordable,
increasing
yeah.
right? So
I
is
didn't
it
want to
this
use the
new-
affordable word. but
No, so is it new construction housing or is it
that's the
landlord
whole
housing?
point. The task force will
Gotcha.
be looking at the concept of let's think differently about how to come up with a solution for this. And obviously, what we've been doing is not getting it done. So let's try putting together some thoughts on this and see where we come out on that. So okay.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
that's great. Thank you for
That's fine.
serving on that committee.
Okay, thank you. With that, I think we start with you tonight, Jan.
No report this evening, Mayor.
Okay, you got me. Good.
So the Education Advisory Board met on Monday, and we had showcased the high school. And Principal Michelle Fleming, who's been there not quite a year, did a great job. She presented the school with a kind of a whole new spirit. In fact, they have a motto, and it is the Royal Way, which means
Wow, that's a huge
it's got a meaning.
statement.
It's got a
It's
meaning.
got a lot of meaning.
high
yeah.
expectations, high standards, no excuses. Kind of like
Okay.
that. Nice, catchy kind of an idea.
Royal Way.
Royal Way.
Say it 3 times
And the high
fast. I
school
like
has
that.
actually maintained a B rating, which is no small undertaking during the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic. They currently have 2,347 students, and 70% of those are taking at least one college-level class,
That's good.
while 734 students are enrolled in Choice Academy programs like Navy Junior ROTC, HVAC, medical, and others. So we've got a nice broad spectrum of types of offerings there and a full engagement of what seems to be an active, very enthusiastic student body. So next week is
Wildcat
homecoming.
Week.
It is Wildcat Week, And there's the events coming up. Tomorrow night, it's a football game. Wellington versus Royal Palm.
Ooh, that's a
Probably,
big game.
probably going
Whoa.
to need all the support they can
I
get.
might have to come watch that.
So, yeah, if you can show up, please do that.
after we throw out baseballs.
Right after that, we go straight over to the football game.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. So we're going to be heading up, Jan and I, to Orlando for the Florida League of Cities Legislative Policy Committee meetings that'll take place tomorrow. That's the first of 3 sessions that will be conducted to prepare the legislative priorities for the session beginning in March this year, so it's a little bit later. Issues like affordable housing.
It's on everybody's list.
It
Yeah.
is. And transportation funding, which is an issue every
You
year
notice
as
on my
we
list.
wind up getting less and less gas tax and that kind of thing. And mobility planning. We're going to be talking about that as well. So we'll keep you posted. And I think Jan has a seat on the Finance Committee, right?
Yes, that is correct.
So, and you all know that Phoenix, South Florida is coming to an end next Wednesday.
Yes, it's been a glorious run.
It has.
Yeah,
Almost 2.5 years. So
helped a lot of people.
It did. And actually, I got the latest count as far as how much food was actually delivered to us for distribution. It's just over 4 million pounds of food.
Wow.
And they estimated the worth of it to be over $5 million. So,
Wow.
pretty big deal. Really good job. A lot to be proud of there.
Ray, can we make sure that they know that if for some reason in the future they need to reinitiate something like this and they've got the food to disperse, we're still here. Okay? No. Hopefully not, but who knows what tomorrow lies ahead. Anything else?
Well, that's it.
Okay. Richard.
The only thing one thing I'd like to report is on Monday night, a Miramar High graduate won on Monday Night Football. Doesn't happen too often, probably never has before.
Who
So,
was it?
Geno Smith, you should know him well.
He used to
Wasn't
be
he
a
your
Jet.
quarterback? Yeah.
Yeah.
Beat the old team. And beginning today is.
You really want me to review that game for you?
I didn't see it, but
Okay.
I'm glad he won.
I can tell you, okay, he won, but I think the other team lost.
He got it done.
Okay.
And starting today is Hispanic
Wins and
Heritage
wins, yeah.
Month, so
Yeah.
I didn't encourage everyone to get out and celebrate and go
Started-
have some tacos.
What, today? Started this week?
Started today.
Good evening, everyone. We have a baseball opening day
that could go either
tomorrow
way, huh?
night over at Bob Marcello Park. So it's great to see the kids come out there and do that, and all the teams. So they're all different ages out there. We also have food trucks and concerts tomorrow night at Commons Park, and that's a Billy Joel tribute band that's playing there. And then September 30th through October 1st over at Commons Park also is the Rockin' Fall Festival. So that's always great. It's a 3-day event, free, lots of activities and music and food. So the food you have to pay for. Everything else is free. Thanks.
Nothing, Mayor. Thank you.
Maddie?
Nothing specific. Nice to be with you this evening.
Okay. All right, that concludes our reports for this evening. At this time, is there anyone here who would like to present a petition to the council? Now would be the time to do that. Going once? No petitions? I'm closing the floor to petitions then. We now look for statements from the public on items not on the agenda or consent agenda. Did you want to speak again, Ms.? You have it? Did you speak on this already? So you want to do it? You can thank us again. I'm joking.
She's on a roll.
I'm just so delighted that I can come to council meeting tonight with positive feedback. I want to thank council and staff, Parks and Rec, especially Councilman Jeff Hamera. We got that gate closed over there at the Hart Trail, and it has made such a difference. I know that the traffic pattern is still crazy over there, but at least I feel a lot better that we're not going to endanger any of the students walking on that sidewalk. And I've talked to Crystal, the principal over there at HL, and come to find out her and my son were in the same class over there
Wow.
at HL Johnson.
Good old
many,
Royal
many
Palm
years
Beach.
ago. And she said
Yeah.
it's not the same school when they went there.
Well,
So, and we all understand that too. And I spoke with Marcia Andrews. She was very helpful in some ideas and stuff too. And I got to know her. I campaigned for her and stuff too. So I just want to just thank council for, the support, because it was definitely needed. And I just feel very confident now that we've got some safety issues corrected over there. And being a 44-year resident of this
Wow.
community, we want to make sure all our residents and kids stay safe.
44 years in counting.
44 years, yep. Can you believe that?
Ray, you
Yep.
want to add
Went
anything
through
to
many
that?
mayors.
You want to add anything to that?
No, we did have a really good meeting with the school earlier this week, and we've come up with a bunch of strategies that we think will minimize the time that it takes for parents to drop their kids off and pick them up. I did get an email, I think, yesterday saying that they were at 36 minutes. They're down there saying to 17 minutes now. Implemented a few of them, and
That's good.
might have a few more things to implement. The goal is to get under 15.
That's
I
the
think
goal.
getting to 17 is really good.
But to get down, to make that much of a difference already is pretty good.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
the closer we can get, the
Yeah.
shorter we can get it, the more parents that will be willing to get in the line and instead of into the neighborhoods and on
And
the side of the
one
street.
thing Crystal did get over to the parents too that are sitting down on Crestwood in that left-hand turn lane, at least now the parents are putting on their flashers.
Okay.
So when people are coming up behind them, they know they're stopped. Because I saw several incidents, over the past year where they almost got rear-ended because people didn't realize they were stopped over there in that left lane. So that's been a big plus too. So we're, just very grateful, and thank you for all your help, everybody, especially Mr. Humera. He and I've been, emailing with Crystal quite a bit on this and stuff. So,
Okay.
and I plan to be here a lot more years too.
I hope you are.
That's what he
Especially
said,
when
and
we have
counting.
a millage rate of 1.92 for how many years? Yes. And I try to share that with all my friends and neighbors that are out here. People don't realize, and as we know too, as the mayor told me, we are debt free in Royal
Yep,
Palm
we
Beach.
have
And
been
not
for
too
a
many
few years now.
municipalities
Yes.
can say that. So
Yes.
thank you again.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Diane, I'd like to thank you for, bringing stuff to our attention. I'm glad you feel receptive here, and you should, because, that's not a part of the area that I drive too much. But when you say there's, life safety issues going on there, I like the fact that it's brought to my attention. The email you sent is, hey, this is something we need to engage on immediately. I know apparently it wasn't nearly as bad. My kids went to Cypress Trails. Apparently it's a whole nother animal up there. I got frustrated at Cypress Trails, so I couldn't imagine how it is up there with the busier streets. So, but thank you, and please keep giving us input and information.
Any other? No? Okay. Okay, so I have no other comment card. I have no other comment cards. So therefore, I'm closing public comments on non-agenda items and on consent agenda items. And with that, Diane, please give us the consent agenda.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Number 1, approval of the minutes of the council regular meeting of August 18th, 2022. 2, approval and authorization in accordance with established policy to make a budget amendment for Fund 001 in the fiscal year 2021-2022 budget. Said amendment to add 1 full-time facility attendant position, each in the Recreation Division and the Events and Facilities Division. Additionally, to delete 2 part-time facility attendant positions in each division to assist with funding the new positions in the 2022-2023 fiscal year. 3, approval and authorization for the village manager to enter into an agreement with International Sweeping Incorporated, doing business as Facilities Pro Sweep, the lowest responsible bidder, in the annual amount of $58,381.86 for street sweeping. Funding source is from the Stormwater Utility Operating Budget. 4, approval of a special event permit application for Catskills Haunts of Florida, LLC, to hold a haunted house on Friday and Saturday nights from September 30th, 2022 through the month of October 2022 at Royal Palm Beach Commons. 5, approval of a special event permit for the Village of Royal Palm Beach to hold Rock and Fall Fest on Friday, September 30th, 2022 from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. and Saturday, October 1st, 2022, from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Royal Palm Beach Commons. 6, approval of a seasonal vendor permit for Our Lady Queen of the Apostles Catholic Church to hold their annual Pumpkin Patch fundraiser at 100 Crestwood Boulevard from October 14th, 2022 through October 31st, 2022. 7, approval of a special event permit for the Village of Royal Palm Beach to hold a green market and bazaar at Village Hall every Saturday beginning October 15th, 2022 through April 29th, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. 8, approval of a special event permit for the Village of Royal Palm Beach to hold concert, movie, and food truck expos at Royal Palm Beach Commons Park on October 21st, November 4th, 12th, and 18th, December 2nd, 10th, and 17th from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. 9, approval of a special events permit by Big Southeast Rides and Customs Incorporated to conduct a car show in order to have a fundraiser to benefit wounded warriors at Commons Park on Sunday, November 6, 2022, from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. 10, approval of the bid award in the amount of $2,967,082 and authorization for the village manager to execute a contract with the lowest responsible bidder for the canal system dredging SW1901 and SW2301 and dry detention pond EN1904 project to Atlantic and Gulf Dredging and Marine LLC. The award will be effective October 1st, 2022. 11, approval and authorization for the village manager to execute the second addendum to food and beverage services agreement between the village and Seeds Cafe LLC to provide for the first one-year renewal term beginning October 1st, 2022 and ending October 1st, 2023. 12, approval and authorization for the village manager to enter into an agreement with Battalion Enterprises Incorporated doing business as Property Works, the sole responsible bidder for park maintenance services at 8 neighborhood parks at an annual amount of $54,048.24.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments on the consent agenda?
I thought the mayor, you were going to pull 10.
I want to give you all a chance if you want to pull it. But yeah, I think it'd be good if we just get a little background information on consent agenda item 10. All right. Anything else? Everyone else? That's the case, and I'll look for a motion on the remainder of the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 9 and 11 and 12.
Second.
There a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Diane, please let the record show the consent agenda was approved with the exception of item 10. And with that, we'll ask the village manager if he can just give us some background on this.
I'm going to ask Chris to do that. I just made him a presenter, and he's got a drawing he's going to try to pull up. You there, Chris?
I'm here.
Good. Were you able to? Chris is on an iPad. He had jury duty all day today.
Yeah, jury duty? And you
Yes.
And you're dumping this on him tonight?
I don't think he did get picked. He got there right to the very end though. But anyway, were you able to pull it up on the? Were you able to be the presenter?
I'm getting there. The computer's hopefully it's going to allow me to do this. I'm actually on a Mac, so it's a little bit different. While I'm trying to pull this up, what I could do is I'll go through the details of it while I'm trying to get the image up. So essentially, this project was composed of 4 separate grants. We had 3 individual CBIR grants totaling $1.1 million, and then of course, with the ARPA funding that we recently received, there is going to be $1.252 million of ARPA funds for this project, and then from village funds will be about $610,000. So a tremendous amount of grant dollars will be utilized for this project. The benefits of the project are going to improve water quality within the canal system by removing that decomposed material that's accumulated over the last 50 years. when we did a survey of the canal bottom in these areas, we were finding muck approximately 12 to 18 inches deep on our bottoms. So there's a pretty substantial amount of decomposed material in there, which hurts oxygen levels within the canals. So removing the material not only will remove the nutrients for the vegetation, but it will also improve oxygen levels for the fish and other wildlife that utilize that canal system. And by removing those nutrients, we're going to get less aquatic vegetation, which should reduce the amount of treatment we need in the canals and ultimately save us money with that. Another portion of this project is we are going to dig a dry detention pond within the FPL easement adjacent to La Mancha Avenue, just south of Delicia Street. Ray, you were able to get it up?
Yes, I noticed you weren't getting it on the screen, so I wanted to.
Yeah, the Mac is it's not cooperating. So essentially what it is about 1.9 miles of our canals will be cleaned. And they're going to do it with a machine that hydraulically pumps the material into the FPL easement within that location where we have the pond planned. So that material will be staged for a period of time, allowed to dry, and then they will remove that material and then keep digging to create a dry detention pond, which will provide about a little over 2 acre feet towards water quality within our basin, and then a little over 3 acre feet of floodplain topping and storage that's within the overall basin. And that's about it.
Okay. Questions from members of the council?
Well, just for, I don't know, Ray, if you can answer it versus Chris coming in, but for clarification, we did something similar. Is this similar to what we did on La Mancha where we had it over there and they were dredging and they were using that retention area over by FPL?
Yes, it is very similar to that. It's just a lot more canal that we're doing. And as Chris mentioned in the very beginning, it's funded with 3 different sources. ARPA is funded over $1 million on this project, and we have sales tax being utilized on this. And the third funding source was, what was the third funding source, Chris?
CBIR, with three individual grants
CBIR.
we received for that, ranging from 19 to 22.
CBIR is community budget information requests from the legislatures. So that's the 3 funding sources that we have. What I've shown you on the screen now is the area where we're going to be adding ponds between the power lines and improving the drainage on that north end. And then, as you can see, if you come down here, and then this whole area here will be cleaned.
And it also includes. Sorry, go ahead.
No. I was just going to ask, and where, because I think you did mention it, that it was on the FPL side of it, or their portion. Where are you leaving the material, and is it going to be the same muck that it was before? So do we need to let the residents know this is what's going on? And then how long is the time period that you anticipate this taking?
Overall, the demucking process will be pretty quick. We've required them to basically do it in areas where they have 14-day areas. We broke up the canal system where they couldn't.
We lost you, Chris. We lost you.
He's in the muck.
I could hear you guys. You're not able to hear me?
We can hear you now.
Now we can.
Now we can't hear you.
How about now? Can you hear me?
Now,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
Yes.
My AirPods must have died.
it's
Everything's
like
going
this.
wrong for me this evening.
You know
So, essentially, what we did was we broke the project up into stages where they could only demuck in 14-day periods, and then that portion will go pretty quick according to them, and then the material will have to dry before we can haul it. That's going to be the tough part for the residents. That's going to be about 90 days for it to dry before they start hauling that material out. Now, all the material will be hauled out, and obviously then some, because we're going to dig a dry detention pond there in the place of where that material was at. But unfortunately, there will be a period of time that this material has to stay and dry out before we could move it to its final destination.
Okay, so with the drying period, how long do you estimate? If that's 3 months, do you think the whole project's going to take 6 months? Is it going to take 9 months? Estimate.
Estimate, yeah, probably about 9 months total.
Okay, thanks.
So I've got a question.
Okay.
Hey, Chris. So hopefully we learned some lessons from that pilot that we did, to include making sure that, as Selena was just saying, that the residents are aware of what's going to happen and that type of thing. Because some of that stuff stinks, right?
It does not smell pleasant as it decomposes. Yeah, you could use that term.
Yeah. So at least, it's one thing when you have to experience something like that and you're surprised. It's another thing, at least, when you know it's coming. I'm sure we're going to do a really good job on notification and giving them a light at the end of the tunnel as well, kind of a thing. It's going to last this long and
Get some context.
and that kind of thing. Yeah, that's really, I think, really important because we're going to hear about it.
Okay.
And it's the only way to do
and
it. It's pretty much it.
What we'll do is on the staging site we'll put some signage where people will be able to get information from that signage on as it relates to the duration. As far as the contractor's requirements for people on the canal, there's kind of two different notices that will go out to them. They will be putting door hangers out for all the people that are affected on the canal as it relates to the issues with their irrigation, and obviously let them know what's going on behind their homes. So that there will be two separate notifications to those residents with door hangers, and then we'll also put some signage at the staging area so people can understand how long that will last, with contact information for staff.
And I think it's also good to point out, so that's the negative. The positive is the quality of the water will improve. A lot of the conditions of living on those canals will get much better as a result of doing this, not the least of which is the drainage. So, we don't want to miss the opportunity to present the positive side as well. Thank you.
Agreed.
Any other comments, questions? All right. And thanks, Chris.
Okay, thank you.
Look for a motion.
I make a motion to approve consent agenda item number 10.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? If there's no opposed, Diane, please let the record show that consent agenda item 10 was approved 5-0. Okay, with that, we'll move to the regular agenda. Item 1 is a public hearing to consider application 22-29, an application by Dunny Muskie and Backman on behalf of Biscayne Friendly LLC. The applicant is requesting site plan and architectural approval to develop a 7,822 square foot standalone enclosed car wash facility and special exception approval to allow for a car wash, self-service, or other in general commercial zoning district for a property located at 1001 North State Road 7. This is a quasi judicial process, so we need to have folks sworn in.
Thank you, sir. Is the applicant present? Can you approach the microphone over here, please? And give your appearance for the record, please.
Yes, good evening, Mayor, members of the council. My name is Matthew Scott. I'm an attorney with Danae Miskell and Backman with an address of 14 Southeast 4th Street in Boca Raton. I'm here on behalf of the applicant.
Thank you, sir. As the mayor indicated, this is quasi-judicial. Can you raise your right hand? Bradford, I'll swear you in at the same time. Do you both swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you, and I'll turn back to the council and ask for ex parte disclosures on this item.
I have none.
Thank you.
Okay.
Great,
You're
thank you,
on,
Mayor.
sir. Thank you.
The applicant is seeking a site plan modification, special exception use for a car wash and architectural approval for a 1.724 acre site located at 1011 North State Road 7 and situated within the Regal Center Plan Commercial Development. The intent of the petition is to develop the site as a 7,822 square foot car wash facility. The site is zoned general commercial, and a car wash is listed as a special exception use in the general commercial zoning district at section 2689, parens 3. The applicant is also requesting architectural approval for the building, signage, and landscape plan. In reviewing this petition, village staff considered conformity with the Village of Royal Palm Beach's zoning code pertaining to the general commercial zoning district. Specifically, the proposed site meets the requirements as they pertain to parcel size, parcel frontage, setbacks, pervious area, parking requirements, landscape areas. And here is the landscape plan. So let me go back to this slide here. This just give you a little orientation. This is where State Road 7 is. And so the customers would enter in off of State Road 7, by right in or right out. They would enter the site. They would either go, because I believe that this is a membership, so they had the ability to just go vacuum. So they could enter in here, use the vacuums, or if they were getting the full service, then they would enter in. And here are 3 lanes to enter into their car wash facility. Here is a required bypass lane to exit if for whatever reason you find yourself there, you don't want to be there.
Oh, it's Tuesday. I do car washes on Thursday.
Right. And so it's a well-functioning site. Here's the landscape plan, and they do meet the landscaping requirements. Let's see here. Of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Oh, let me show you the architecture. Here is the architecture for the property. Overall, the proposed site plan meets all village's requirements for these types of uses in the general commercial zoning district. The Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application on August 23rd, 2023, and recommended approval by a vote of 5-0. And staff is recommending approval of this application. And I'll turn the floor back over to you, Mayor. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Bradford. The applicant like to make any comments?
Yes, Mayor, I'd just like to show a couple of images of the renderings that give a little
Sure.
color. So I just click on.
God bless you.
Excuse me. Thank you.
Said show my screen. Okay, great. Again, for the record, my name is Matthew Scott. I'm a zoning attorney. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Dirty Dogs. I think Bradford did a great job, and so I'm not going to repeat everything he said. Rather, this being a quasi-judicial hearing, I just want to state for the record, staff is recommending approval. Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval, right? That's competent, substantial evidence that we are meeting code. So I'd like to just provide a couple highlights because we think this is a great car wash, not just the normal car wash. This is a really good car wash. I want to tell you about it. So let me jump to that. It's right next door to Papi Chulo's, my wife's favorite taco joint. That is not relevant, but I just thought I'd share that because I told my wife where I was going tonight, and she said, that's my favorite, get me tacos. So I know, you're right. So then I am going to move quickly. But there was a Friendly's there. They went out of business, been out of business for a while, and so we're looking to repurpose the site. And so with that said, I just want to jump to the rendering. So here's a great rendering. What they've done is they've positioned the building in a way so that you see glass windows. You don't see an in and out of a car wash, right? That's a typically undesirable feature of a car wash, particularly relative to noise, if there were residences nearby. There are not. but my client has a car wash technology that has sort of silencers on the car wash components and the vacuums to minimize noise. Even though there are no residences nearby, this is part of their service. As Bradford said, there's an option to get a full service car wash. So you drive your car in, and then you can loop around and get the detailing by Dirty Dogs. Or you don't want the full service, you want to do the vacuuming on your own, you can loop to the vacuums, and there are vacuums accessible for customers. And so my client has, I think this, if approved, this would be their 10th location. So they're trying to provide a higher level of service and make it a place that people would decide to buy a membership and make it their one and only car wash. And so they sell the memberships for customers. And so here are just a couple more renderings, but with that being said, I'm happy to answer any questions. I think Bradford did a great job. I think we are meeting and exceeding landscaping. We're adding some pedestrian connections so that people can access the back part of the site, so that sidewalks function correctly. And so overall, we think this is a positive addition to the community and would respectfully request approval. Thank you.
Okay, before we take comments from the council, do we have any advanced public comments on agenda item R1, Diane? Ray, do we have anyone with their hand raised? No, nobody, huh? Okay. No, all right. I have not received any comment cards on this agenda item, but if anyone is here who'd like to comment, now would be the time. Okay, I'm going to close public comment on agenda item R1, open for questions and comments from members on council.
I had two questions, and you've kind of touched on both of them a little bit. Number one was because you do have a restaurant adjacent to you, just on the north, how much noise, air, smell, pollution is going to drift there because they do have outdoor seating.
Correct. They, I think the two reasons why that my client decided to heavily landscape the north east corner is one, it's kind of the main entrance to the facility. It's a front facade, but also to create some landscaping buffering from the adjacent use. And the other thing is, as I said, they have invested in this technology that silences the noise to avoid impacts on neighbors. And so that were the two things that they were trying to do to prevent, having negative impacts.
Okay.
I don't know that it's a requirement. I don't even know that your code requires there be a noise study done. Some towns, cities do, but this was something that they proactively do because they have 25 years of experience in the space. That this is a problem for a car wash that they need to address, and so they were proactive about it.
No, and it is because it's an outdoor seating restaurant right there, and they specifically like that. So I wouldn't want to put anything there that's going to intrude on that experience of it. So I appreciate that. And then you did mention the landscaping. How many of the mature trees are going to remain in that space?
Right. So that was something that I believe. So my partner worked on this. That we worked with staff to maintain as many trees as we could. Right. I don't think it's a complete removal and replacement. I think that on the north side of the site, towards the western side, the sidewalk actually meanders so that the trees in that area can be preserved. And so I know that quite a few of the trees that are there are being maintained, and then we're adding more trees to the site. Because on the east facade, it's not particularly landscaped right now.
No, and that's what I make sure. So, Brad, there isn't any of those older mature trees
No,
that will be.
those
okay.
would remain.
Okay, thank you. That was it.
Any other comments?
Just a question. Can you talk a little bit about the volume of traffic that goes through the car wash in a normal day?
Sure. So I think Bradford noted that there's a triple lane entrance feature to that. The idea is to avoid stacking onto the street. Having said that, the peak hour trips, meaning during rush hour times, I believe it was 30 cars. Okay. So it's not a crazy amount of traffic, but we understand that if there were stacking onto the street, like you see with the Chick-fil-A, that's a problem, right? And so they plan for that with ample stacking.
Cool.
Not crazy traffic, yeah.
Kind of a Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A. So we do some Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A is becoming a problem. It used to be get us a Chick-fil-A every city I went to. Now it's oh no, don't tell me it's a Chick-fil-A. It's kind of an interesting thing for them. That's another topic.
Thank you.
So that's a good point, though. There was an article in the paper, I think, about a car wash with the traffic backing up out onto Southern Boulevard, as a matter of fact, and that could create a nightmare. But stacking, of course, is really critical.
Any other questions? I had a couple of business type questions. What have you done some kind of market analysis that makes you believe that this will be a successful initiative?
Yeah, so there is another car wash a mile or so south, and that one my client observed is very successful. But more importantly, this corridor 441 is experiencing rapid growth, and so
They keep telling me that. Yeah.
right, yeah. Captain Obvious.
All
You just
the
call me
planners.
Captain Obvious, right?
No.
Right, and so it's there's clearly a demand for the higher end of this. There's of course car washes around town that are not meeting sort of the more premium side of the market, and so my client has this model that offers the premium but also value, and so they just, in looking at this area, said it's underserved and jumped on this site.
Underserved. Okay, that's the word I was looking for, I guess. I don't know. What's your timeline?
So my client is somewhere with a shovel in their hand. They're ready to go as fast as they
They're
as
they're
they
driving around the
possibly-
block, right?
Yeah,
with the
right,
shovel?
right. They're
Okay.
they're looking to get in under construction as soon as possible. They're hoping to open next year, assuming all goes well.
Okay. Well, if there are no further comments or questions from council, I look for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve regular agenda item number 1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show that agenda item R1 was approved 5-0. Good luck and
Thank you very much.
good washing.
Yes, I know.
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item R2 is a public hearing to consider application 22-73, an application by MMCW Wellington for the consideration of landscape waiver from Village Code Section 15-133, Sub B, Sub 1, and Sub 2, to allow for a perpendicular divider strip with a width of 3 feet, where Village Code requires 5 feet, and the installation of 2 trees where Village Code requires 5 trees, for an existing car wash. Oh, another car wash. Yeah.
It is.
For an existing car wash located within the Anthony Groves Planned Commercial Development, and located at 135 South State Road 7. This is also a quasi-judicial hearing, so who would like to be sworn in for this?
Can you come to the microphone, sir, and state your name for the record? Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. Brian Chekas, I Plan and Design, here on behalf of this case.
Can you raise your right hand for me and I'll swear you in? Do you swear affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, sir?
I do.
Thank you. And I'll ask for ex parte disclosures on all 3 of these items. He has the next 2 on the agenda as well from council.
Staff.
I think I inadvertently met the owners of this property, of this operation, because it's new owners, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Great, thank you, Mayor. The applicant is requesting consideration of landscape waiver from Village Code Section 15133, B1 and 2, to allow for a perpendicular divider strip with a width of 3 feet where Village Code requires 5 feet, and the installation of 2 trees where Village Code requires 5 trees, for an existing car wash located within the Anthony Groves Planned Commercial Development located at 135 South State Road 7. This landscape waiver request is a companion application to a site plan modification that occurs later on the agenda. The site plan modification application is a request to allow for modifications to the existing canopy, parking lot, landscape islands, introduction to a new pay station, self-service vacuum stations, and other various modifications. This slide shows here the reduction of the perpendicular landscape island and the 3 trees, and so this is where it is reduced down to 3 feet. This is where the trees will remain, and these are where the trees will be removed. Staff is recommending approval of this landscape waiver request and generally concurs with the applicant's assessment, and staff believes that this is a minimum waiver necessary to allow reasonable use of the property. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended approval of this application on August 23rd, 2022, with alternate, by a vote of 4-0, with alternate Lauren McClellan recusing herself due to a voting conflict, And again, staff is recommending approval of this application. And I'll turn the floor over to you, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Bradford. Applicant like to make comment?
I don't, Mr. Mayor. Bradford did a great job, and it's part of the other applications that are coming in. This is just an internal island within it, and when you hear the rest of the presentation, you'll understand how it all comes together. But it has no impact off-site. It's internal to the site, and it helps with the modified operation of this existing car wash.
So the modified operation means is like additional equipment or different equipment or something like that?
What they're doing is they're retooling the inside of the site
Right.
to accommodate vacuum stanchions, so you can self-vacuum. This car wash is an older car wash, and it was a full-service car wash. And we're now in 2020, and in the 2020s, after COVID and the pandemic, the market has changed where people may not want service personnel inside their cars. So the option to provide self-vacuuming is critical.
Okay.
And so that's part and parcel of the impetus of this one and all the other car washes that this owner's taken over. They're doing this hybrid model where it has full service still, but it also has the option that you can vacuum your own car.
Now, if I'm correct, this is the car wash that's
Motor City down
Over by Steak and Shake.
Steak and Shake. Yeah.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, we're not next.
Steak and Shake.
We're not next to Papichulos, but I was very happy to bring that forward for you guys.
Okay. All right. Before we take further comments, I wanted to find out, we have any comments in advance
Mayor.
on this? No? Any hands raised on this agenda item, right? R2? No, Mayor. Okay, I have received no comment cards. Does anyone here would like to comment? Now would be the time. Seeing none, I'm closing public comment on agenda item R2. Comments from members on council? If there are none, I'll look for a motion.
Well, hold on. I just, for clarification, because I'm familiar with the site, and if you're saying that you want to remove the trees in that portion because you want to put in vacuums for self-service, but you're still keeping the area under the canopy where it's full service and vacuums are available, correct?
The canopy area is still going to remain full service.
Right.
Parking's been retooled around the site. Where it was just regular parking before, it is now a combination of regular parking for people accessing the site and vacuum stanchion parking, which is a little bit wider. They go from 9.5-foot spaces to 12-foot spaces, and they have a little canopy over them and vacuums. So it's in that area. It affects this island for
Right.
two reasons: that the vacuums, but also servicing the pay stations for automatic service. We want to have a portion of that island be able to have a worker access the car, talk to someone, versus having the landscaping there. So functionally, that island's changing from an internal landscape island to more of a partial landscape island and partially being utilized if there's any assistance that's needed by customers.
So it's full service, and then it's also where I can manually vacuum my car, but I still get out to run it through.
In this particular car wash, you run this through yourself. You come through, you would hand the car off to them, and they will
run it.
They will take it and detail it, or you take it through and you vacuum yourself.
Okay.
So it's called a hybrid.
Right.
You have
Okay.
full
right.
service and vacs. They call it a
So,
hybrid.
but there isn't an option. What I'm saying I think there's 4 lanes or 3 lanes where you have the vacuum and it is full service right now. Is it possible to make one of those lanes self-service and then the other lanes full service?
No, because we have to have a bypass to let these people get through so they can get to the vacuum stanchions, and the full service isn't going away. And there's no lack of demand for full service car washes. We're all getting older, and we don't want to spend 2 hours in our car. We want someone else to do it in 45 minutes.
I understand that. That's what I'm saying. Well, then it kind of goes back and forth. It's like, well, I need the self-service, but we're still keeping all the full service.
Correct.
But right.
Well-
So that's what I'm saying is that outside aisle, you couldn't change that outside aisle that right now is full service vacuum and make that 2 self-service.
Not for the capacity for this car wash. It's very successful. There's a lot of traffic on 441, and this car wash is very busy. And so they're maintaining the capacity, but the amount of service bays that were originally there, I believe, has been slightly reduced because the vacuums had to be accommodated. So there's been a trade-off. The
Okay.
self-vacuuming's coming up, and the full service is coming down a little bit.
Right.
But we still have to accommodate that crowd that still wants their full service wash.
Right, and I understand it's a small space to begin with,
Yeah,
so I do
it is.
understand that you have with all the staff and the traffic and the flow that goes through there. I
That's
just,
why we need a little help with that one island.
Yeah.
It gets squished inside the site. It has no offsite impacts.
no, I would just prefer not cutting down the trees. That's what I was trying to say, is you've already cleared out that whole space, so that's my concern.
Anything else? What is this with the phones? Any, any other questions, comments from members of the council? If there are none, then I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item R2.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Dan, let the record show that agenda item R2 was approved 5-0. So, we're not done yet.
No, no.
We got more. Yeah.
Stay here.
Regular agenda item R3 is also a public hearing to consider application 21-95. The applicant is requesting architectural approval in order to update sign faces, paint the existing building, remove an existing awning, and other various modifications for an existing car wash located within the Anthony Growth Plan Commercial Development, located at 135 South State Road 7. Notice we say State Road 7 at 441. Okay, that's all right. Now, this is also a quasi judicial. They have to be sworn in again?
No, sir, you're all set, and the council's
Okay,
given
the
their
council-
disclosures. You're good.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Bradford, you are.
Okay, so this is the approval for the architecture of this property. This usually is combined with the site plan, but given the architecture coming in after the site plan application was submitted, our new electronic system doesn't allow us to, mash them back together. So that's why you're seeing
It's
these
separate.
separately, right? And I apologize for that. It just same site. This is the architecture that they're proposing. There's different colors, turquoise and some bright pinks that will be incorporated into this architecture. Again, here is the side and east elevation and west elevation. Planning and Zoning Commission did approve this application, and staff is recommending approval. And with that being said, Mayor, I'll turn the floor back over to you. Thank you.
Would you like to make any comments? No? Okay, so you're satisfied with the presentation?
I'll answer questions if you have any questions.
Okay. Before we go to council, Diane, we have any advance
No, Mayor.
comment card? No? Okay. On agenda item R3. Ray, any hands raised? Agenda item R3?
Really? Took his hand down.
So is there a hand signal for unmute?
Can you wait?
See us? No?
He can hear you.
Okay. Going once. Going twice. Okay, Michael. Maybe it's not tonight. Okay, well, we're not hearing you if you did. So, maybe next time. What was that? Okay, we're gonna move on. I have no comment card submitted to me.
Shots fired.
But if anyone is here would like to comment, now would be the time. Seeing none, I'm closing public comment, Michael, to agenda item R3 at this time. So with that, questions and comments from members on council? If there are none, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item number 3.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We have no opposed. Diane, please let the record show agenda item R3
Thank you.
was approved 5-0.
Thank you.
And next is agenda item R4, which is also a public hearing to consider application 21-97, an application by MMCW Wellington for the consideration of a site plan modification to allow for modifications to the existing canopy, parking and parking lot landscape islands, introduction of a new pay station and self-service vacuum stations, and other various modifications for an existing car wash located within Anthony Growth Plan Commercial Development located at 135 South State Road 7. The swearing-in still holds to this?
Yes, sir. You're good to
Okay.
proceed.
With that, Bradford, you are.
Great, thank you, Mayor. I won't repeat what you just said, and just get into the meat and potatoes. In reviewing this petition, village staff considered conformity with the Village of Royal Palm Beach's zoning code of ordinances pertaining to the neighborhood commercial zoning district. Staff has reviewed the application and found it consistent with the village code requirements. Specifically, the proposed site meets the requirements as they pertain to parcel size, parcel frontage, setbacks, pervious area, parking requirements, landscape areas aside from the landscape waiver request, maximum building height, stacking, and bypass requirements. Overall, the proposed site meets all village's requirements for these types of uses in the neighborhood commercial zoning district. The Planning and Zoning Commission considered this application for a site plan modification on August 23rd, 2022, and recommended approval by a vote of 4-0, with alternate Lauren McClellan recusing herself because of a voting conflict, and therefore staff is recommending approval of this application. And I'll turn the floor back over to you, Mayor. Thank you.
Okay. Would the applicant like to comment?
Just great job, Bradford.
Got any pretty pictures you want to show us? No?
No, that's pretty much
Okay.
it. This just kind of closes the loop. All three applications tie together to reorient this older facility and make it work to 2022 standards. As you heard in the last presentation, a lot of car washes are coming through, and a lot are coming through as fully automatic. So this one holds the line on still having that full service, which is going to become more and more unique, I think, over the coming years. Because a lot of stations are going over to automatic. So we have a good facility here, and by doing these changes, they're going to remain viable for the coming years, but still provide a service that a lot of car washes aren't going to provide in the future. So it's kind of a gem, and they're very happy that they were able to take over this with this brand and bring it into the El Car Wash family brand. So with that,
okay. Any questions, comments from members on council? Hold it before I.
Yeah, you want to do the public?
Yeah, we have any public comments
No,
in
Mayor.
advance? Anyone got their hand raised?
No, Mayor, he doesn't. But some others did hear him. We just didn't hear him in the room here. And
Oh.
I'm not quite sure why, but I did send Michael a message saying that if he wants me to relay his message, he can type it to me.
Okay, let us know if that's the
I
case.
will.
All right, Bradford, do you want to say something? Oh, you were going like this. No?
He was raising his
I
hand.
was, we were doing
Okay.
sign language over here. With the applicant.
All right. Sign language, okay. If there are no further comments from members on council.
Oh, no, actually, I had a quick,
You have a
just
question? Go ahead.
just a real quick, so thank you very much to staff for sending out notification to the surrounding homeowners or the areas of the property around that. Did any of them have any feedback or anything? Because it
No.
is a big area right
Right.
behind there.
We didn't receive any feedback from any of the people within the 300-foot
That you
radius.
said, okay, thank you.
Yeah, because there are residents there. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Okay. Any other comment, questions? If not, I'll look for a motion.
Motion to approve regular agenda item R4.
Second.
There was a second, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? There's no opposed? And let the record show, agenda item R4 was approved 5-0. Good luck.
well, thank you very much. I'm going to Papi Chulo's.
Okay, we have no further items on our agenda. So with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you all.